shoulders on each other. We need to take advantage of this, the 4 IRs and stuff like that. Colleagues, moving straight to agenda item number 2, which is the purpose of the day. Most of the things were covered by military. Now, when this thing was arranged, it was also, observing the celebration of it was in observing the Librarians Month, the month of July. Colleagues, after this session, at least we must have the skills on storytelling for library. Hence, we have invited the speakers here. I'll just give you the names of the speakers, time goes by. Also, one of the things that we need to have acquired as part of the skills for today's session is writing for LIS publications. So hence, we brought people with wealth of knowledge from communication, library services, library science, and stuff like that. The last one, which is also very important, which is a very using social media to show services. In government, I'm not sure about the private sectors. We are going to dissect and to discuss all these red tapes that could perhaps deter library staff from putting their activities on the social media. So we are going to discuss everything. Whatever challenges you come across, we have got people with experience that are going to share knowledge on how to maneuver and make sure that we publicize our activities from the library services. Now, we are going straight to agenda item number 3, the opening remarks. But before we go there, I'm just going to give you a short bio of the person who's going to deliver the opening remarks. But before we do that, colleagues, can we mute? Please, let's mute.
And then more 18, it's 70124.
Okay. I think it's Nomfezeko, please mute yourself. I think it's no. Sorry, not Nomfezeko. No, please mute yourself.
Thanks a lot, colleagues. Let's mute. Only talk when you are recognized. You will have a session of the Q&A. Then you will start engaging us. We want to hear whatever that you're discussing with your colleagues there. So let's have one session here. Now, Mr. Mzwandile Radebe serves as a principal librarian within the Free State Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation. He's stationed at Thabo Mofokeng District Office in Berkeley. In his capacity, his responsibility encompasses 3 core key performance indicators. 1, the provision of training and professional guidance for library personnel, the oversight of library service delivery across the public, school, and community libraries, and the strategic development of the library collection tailored to meet the diverse information needs of the community. Furthermore, Mr. Radebe holds the esteemed position of the chairperson of both Digital Transformation Task Team and the Free State Liasa Public and Community Library Sector. With over a decade of dedicated experience in library information service sector, Mr. Radebe is a seasoned and committed professional. His expertise is particularly pronounced in the promotion of continuous professional development and the fostering of lifelong learning initiatives. Mr. Radebe is currently advancing his academic qualification by pursuing a master's degree in information studies at This follows a successful completion of postgraduate diploma in information studies from University of Limpopo, which he undertook after obtaining a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. His commitment to ongoing professional enrichment is further evidenced by completion of various short courses across multiple disciplines offered by the National School of Government. So Mr. Hadebe is not only a librarian, but also a graduate in communication studies. Hence, he's one of the people that are relevant to address us. Mr. Hadebe, over to you.
Thank you, the program director. Am I audible enough, program director?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to greet everyone in attendance and those in absentia. It's really a great day. Unfortunately, in the Free State, Eastern Free State, it's cold. Hence, you see me with that warm head. You know, it's quite cold. We waked up close to 1 degree this morning. But I just want to take this opportunity to greet our LIASA president for offering us such an opportunity for us to engage as librarians. And since we celebrate, as you heard from the chairperson and the opening remarks, is that we were celebrating Librarians Day. And we also celebrated Mandela Day last week, and we still continue to celebrate Mandela Day, the same way as we still continue to celebrate Librarians Day. This is one of the biggest days that we must be proud as librarians and really show the communities out there and this whole nation that we are proud of our degree, we are proud of our profession, and spearhead, and foster, the promotion and the support of LIASA. We have to back this organization because this is the only organization that we have to preserve. Now, let me greet also our national chair as amongst us. It will be part of the speakers under the public and community library sector, and also greet our provincial chairs, which I'm in the committee with. We share a very exciting and brilliant job with, because we want to see public libraries and public librarians and the staff, working in public libraries, quite evolve, in this era. And also, let me greet our special guest. Now, our special guest is Mr. Mboweni. Hopefully, we're going to learn a lot from him. It's in one of our groups, we did share the work that Mr. Mboweni shared, but you will get his bio at a later stage. Let me greet my fellow librarians. It's quite an exciting moment to have you. I want to share that as a Free State provincial chair, one of the objectives that I had in mind when I took this chair was to ensure that we revive librarians in the public sector. We revive public libraries in terms of practice and the profession at large. Gone are the days where librarians are only known with the building. We must be on the ground. We must be hit the ground running. And as we'll be sharing this session together under the theme of capture, create, share. Now, telling our stories in a digital way, using digital platforms, using our publications that are available. We have LIASA. I know in your departments, you may have a departmental or an institutional publication. We have to occupy those spaces as librarians. We must not conduct ourselves and the activities and the projects, and then we just let those great jobs fall on the reports. We must start talking about them. We must start sharing, because in the Free State, what we are really pushing, which is one of our key objectives, is to ensure that we encourage visibility and showcase Free State libraries' work at the provincial, national, and international level through LIASA platforms, writing articles, writing papers, and research doing research. And unfortunately, this is one of our first, programs where we said as the subcommittee sitting, let us now start to assist librarians to write for publication. And we know that not everyone can write an article for publication, but we have to start somewhere, because the whole goal that we want to achieve, the entire goal that we want to achieve, is to see public librarians becoming research librarians. We want to see more public librarians presenting papers on LIASA, presenting papers on UNESCO, presenting papers on IFLA and other platforms. We want to see public librarians doing that. And this is the start, as part of writing. We're still going to have more programs that we have lined up to ensure that public librarians and our staff, library assistant librarians, they take part and they are part of this. So we want to actually share with you colleagues out there, in your libraries, in your provinces, in your districts, in your municipalities, to say, let's join hands, start engaging with your provincial chair, and let's start creating a bigger community where we can start sharing all the good work that we do in our libraries. I will make an example with doctors. I will make an example with nurses, you name them, and lawyers especially. If you go on TikTok, if you go on Facebook, they share their expertise in terms of how do they go about their work. And I was watching one video of a lawyer sharing the importance of, taking to consideration what kind of marriage do you go into before you can actually start signing, whether in community or property and something. So this is a law practitioner sharing the practices of law, with the community. And this is what librarians we are not doing. We see librarians today dancing on TikTok. Behind you can see there's books. Behind you can see there's users. But the librarians cannot take a book, a simple book like this, and do a review on TikTok. Take library services, sharing when is the library opening, teaching users how to read a book, teaching users how to use libraries in their communities. We need to start sharing this art form of work that we do and sharing with the community so that we can be visible out there. When someone says someone is working at a library, we are not seen as someone who issue books only, or who open a computer for the internet, or who do photocopy and printing. I always tell my staff that if a librarian, you see yourself as being behind the desk and always doing photocopies, it means it's a disgrace to the profession. You are not evolving, you are not developing, you are not growing. So we need to move away from that mindset and start to engage library users at their level and start sharing the information. So I hope, colleagues, you're going to enjoy today's session, and you're going to enjoy our speakers sharing the knowledge. And please, after this, take this knowledge and apply it. Let's start seeing articles written by public librarians, by public or community library staff, send it to LIASA. That is the first step. LIASA in touch, and then they get to be published there. Let's start there so that we start voicing our activities that we do. So hopefully today's session is we're going to achieve that. And please feel free so that we can engage our speakers and we engage and we see to it that we develop as public librarians. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mzwandile Radebe. You said a mouthful. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate. And we're still under the theme, capture, create, and share. And I'm glad, Mr. Mzwandile, you touched on celebrating, Mandela Month, celebrating Mandela Day, celebrating, there are a lot of activities that are taking place in there. But then what do we do after having captured those particular information? So the speakers are going to give us a lot. We saw Univen is doing very well. Mr. Moen is here with us. He's going to share his success at Univen there. So we are moving straight to agenda item number 4, the message of support from May Shanitha Beam. Now, who is Shanitha Beam? Now, Shanitha Beam is a principal librarian for branch services under Usutlusi Municipal Library Services. She managed 11 public branch libraries in the city of Pietermaritzburg. She has been working in the public library sector for 40 years. The passion and the love for this career choice grew on her. It is that what prompted her to go and continue her studies towards a library qualification. She completed her master's degree in library and information science. She was the innovator in cohort 1 of the AFLIA INELI program. She went to mentor a cohort 2 group. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation also selected her to be one of the 12 trailblazers selected in Africa to promote and transform public libraries with renewed professional development opportunities and mentor Generation X librarians to encourage the future public library leadership. She was the chairman of Public and Community Libraries Interest Group at national level, appointed to serve as a trustee of the Library Information Trust, which is SALI for the public library sector. She now serves as a LIASA board member representing the public and community library sector. She is very committed to advocacy, marketing, and innovation in the public libraries, and a strong supporter of professional development. Ms. Shanitha? Shanitha?
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much, Program Director. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Shanitha Beam. Thank you for this opportunity. Greetings to my fellow colleagues and members of the Public and Community Libraries Forum. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I must apologize that I won't put my camera on. I've just had eye surgery, so it's been a little bit trying these few days. However, I just want to say first and foremost, the opportunity to share something regarding the theme capture, create, share, and telling stories through writing and digital platforms. Colleagues, this is one of the most vital aspects of our profession because when we share our stories and our programs and we share what we are doing, especially all that we do in our libraries, it isn't just a helpful courtesy. You must remember it is a powerful strategy for growing the entire library community. And in a world where we are plagued, we are inundated by this digital communication. And we know that digital communication often dominates everything that we do. And we use the power of these platforms to market and promote ourselves. But at the same time, we must not forget the personal narratives of what we do, our experiences, what we are doing in our libraries, what platforms can we use? What about reaching out to your communities on a personal level? Remember, this offers a powerful and authentic way to connect with others. We often see ourselves in an environment where we work in silos, and Mzwandile just mentioned something earlier on as I was listening to him, stating that public librarians need to become research librarians. And as all of you know, this has been an ongoing situation where we've had this divide between the public and the academic sector. But for me, as a public librarian for many, many years, I believe that we stand on the same level as our academic colleagues, but we don't give ourselves enough credit to put ourselves out there, to showcase what we do, because we are still too closed in our little environments. We are not brazen enough to go out there and say, yes, I'm a public librarian. Yes, I work for this library. Yes, this is what I do. Yes, my library consists of so many members. This is my community profile. This is how I need to present myself. It is very often that we come across ourselves going to work, we get on with our jobs, but we forget that the whole dynamic of the public library is changing. It is no more that of sitting within the scope of your doors and waiting for your patrons to come in. It is for you reaching out to your communities. And the power of your storytelling, the power of your programs, the power of how you project those programs is what makes you so visible. And I always ask myself, wouldn't you like to see your library together with your programs and your activities featured in the Liasa in Touch, a magazine that is solely for us, farm-wide communities? People share it. I know in some libraries, I know I do it when I get my copy. Well, that was when we used to get the hard copy. I used to keep it on the coffee table in the staff room so people could read, and that also encouraged our other staff members to become members of Liasa. When you see what wonderful things are happening out there, it's a matter of networking, it's a matter of promoting, it's a matter of marketing. So the programs that we do, and often we ask ourselves, why must I do it? Why must I tell my story? Why must I share?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Nikilipi Zinyana.
Can you mute, please?
For us? Okay, Shanita?
My apology. I don't know. Somebody's probably forgotten. Anyway, colleagues, going back to why we should be sharing our programs, why we should be putting it out there, why we should be becoming more visible. The first thing, it fosters collaboration, it fosters innovation. And when we share what works, and obviously sometimes what doesn't work, we must remember it inspires others to try new approaches or adapt existing ones to fit their community profiles. Remember, we also build a knowledge base because our programs sometimes offer a highly specific need, and it probably relates better to local needs. But at the same time, we can document them through blogs, through articles, through conference presentations. And then we have a rich archive of all of these programs that others can learn from. It advocates for the value of libraries. Remember, by publicizing your successful library outreach initiatives, you are showcasing your libraries as dynamic community anchors. And this visibility can attract new patrons, it can boost support from stakeholders, and of course, it can even unlock funding opportunities because your business sector probably becomes aware. Sometimes people are looking for avenues to donate funding. This is your means to reach out. And libraries have a wealth of creative outreach that often happens behind the scenes, as I've said. And sometimes we need to get this knowledge into the hands of others, and it can be transformative. And the first thing I always say, if you want to reach your patrons, it is our Liasa in Touch magazine. And remember, from that point of your magazine, it opens up new doors for you as a practitioner, for you as a librarian, the opportunity to present at conferences, whether it's regional, whether it's national, or whether it's international. Remember, this way is ideal to showcase your learning programs. And I always say, I don't know about the academic sector, but I say as public librarians, we are mandated for copyright. We can't steal other ideas. If it's for the benefit of our community and our marketing and our programs, yes. If what is happening in Limpopo can work in the Free State, why not share the idea? If what the Free State is doing can work in KZN, why not share the idea? That is how we grow and that is how we develop. Publishing. I know our speakers to come are going to talk to you about writing, publishing. Your stories can become incentives for you to grow. The social media spotlight. There is so much happening out there. We have platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which is now X, and these can broadcast programs. Mzwandile talked about people on TikTok. You know, we'd rather showcase a personal a personal situation, but be in the context of a library, but not utilizing the benefit of that environment to promote our library. So let us do those things, short videos, behind the scenes snapshots. And what about quotes from community members? This is all part of sharing stories, and it gives you and your relationship with your community more of a personal touch. So colleagues, I just want to say to you, remember, yes, we have challenges, we have resource constraints, we have technological barriers, we have institutional restrictions, and sometimes various challenges that probably give us a reason to say, I'm not able to do it. But remember, there are ways and means of being able to do it. And it's about you measuring impact. One of the most important things that we forget to do with all the programs that we do out there. We have this phenomenal amount of programs, but do we measure impact? One of the most important things, how many people attended? Was it well served? What are the pros? What are the cons? What are the highs? What are the lows? Those are the things we should remember when we do our programs. And we need to reach out to the people and reach out to your colleagues as well. Don't feel you are trapped. Don't feel you are in a silo, because we are here to support you. And I think we are at a point in our profession where if you all looked, and I know I speak here to an audience that is largely a converted audience, but I want to say it is up to you who have taken the time to be here today to take this information that you will gather from our speakers and share it with others. You know, write a little message, write something to your newsletter. Let the words be spread. This is what we can do. This is what is happening in our local library. And I always say that telling your story, sharing your program, sharing your activities is a vital component of a human connection. And by sharing this, we have the potential to inspire and empower those around us. And this invariably creates a ripple effect from one to the next and to the next. And even if it starts with one person, it can move on and it can go to two. And by the time it's at four, your next amount of people will be 8. And that is how that ripple effect will keep on growing. So colleagues, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank the Free State Library Services for having this phenomenal program, for inviting me to just give you a few moments. And I hope and I'm sure that this will be a start of many more successful programs where we as public librarians start standing up and showing our visibility. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, May Shanitha Bim. You know, there's something that, caught me when you were, delivering that message of support, where you, when you spoke about capture, create, and share. And you said something Those are the powerful strategy for growing the library services. And I looked into your bio also. I saw the part where you trained the Generation X librarians, and those are the people in the age group currently of around 45 and 60. And I'm looking here, the cohort you spoke about, the audience. Now we are going to share, ideas, different generations. And I want to believe, and I see even the speakers for today, we are probably, the generation Y. And, it's nice to have these different generation cohorts, sharing their experiences. And yeah. So, and one thing that is also very important, Shani, you never turned down the invitation. You are always there, to offer support. It is not the first time, and we really appreciate, your time. Now, colleagues, without any waste of time, we are going straight to the first speaker for today. But what I want to advise you, colleagues, write down your questions, put them down as the speaker. You will have a session where you will interrogate each presentation. You need to bear in mind, and I'm sure some of you are very experienced. You have been attending LIASA conferences. Others, maybe it's the first time. So the very same thing that you are doing here is also part of learning. I want to apologize to those that are speaking while the speaker is on the floor. I'm apologizing on your behalf. And I believe that from now on, we will grow, we will make mistakes. The first thing you do when you click on the link, you check if your audio is not muted. If it's unmuted, you need to mute it, close the video, open it when it's the time for you to speak. So for that, all of us who are on the wrong, we are apologizing to the speakers and the host. Now, who is Diani Mboweni, our speaker for today? Mr. Diani Mboweni is a seasoned media and communication professional with more than 16 years of experience across higher education, government, and the private sector. Holding a Master's of Arts in Media Studies from University of Limpopo, he has cultivated a robust career in strategic communication, social media management, stakeholder engagement, academic instruction, and brand development. Mr. Mboweni currently serves as a social media officer at the University of Venda, where he leads institutional social media strategy, brand alignment, digital recruitment campaigns, developing and executing content strategies across platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. His role involves focusing on audience engagement, performance analytics, and policy development. His professional journey also includes 7 years as a media liaison officer at Mopani TVET College under the Department of Higher Education and Training, where he was responsible for corporate communication, stakeholder relations, branding, and event management. Mr. Mboweni also brings strong academic credentials and teaching experience from his role as an assistant lecturer at the University of Limpopo Department of Media Studies, where he delivered lectures, supervised honors research projects, and contributed to curriculum development and student mentorship. Throughout his career, Mr. Mboweni has demonstrated a passion for meaningful communication, youth engagement, and public service. He's fluent in Xitsonga, English, and Sepedi. He has extensive knowledge of media tools, platforms, and public sector legislation, including the POPIA, the PAJA, the PFMA, and COIDA. His professional strength includes social media strategy, corporate communication, stakeholder engagement, media monitoring, event management, academic supervision. Mr. Mboweni is a results-oriented communicator with a strong ethical foundation and track record of delivering communication solutions that drive institutional impact and stakeholder value. So when I looked at all these bios today, and I was saying there are a lot of politicians that have now graduated with their PhD. I think lately I saw Malusi Kitaba with a PhD. I saw Musi Maimani also graduating with a PhD. Unfortunately, the Minister of Higher Education with a PhD yesterday was dismissed. But I was so glad to say, look, there are a lot of librarians who are advancing their qualification, and they are not withholding the knowledge they have. Hence, they came forth and want to share with us, the successes. And I'm glad that when I looked at Mr. Mbowene's bio, there are also pieces of legislation applicable to, government, the public sectors, private sectors, and so on and so on. The POPIA, the PAJA, the FAMA, the Public Finance Management Act, and the COITA. So, let them go in.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Chairperson.
And Mr. Mboweni, the floor is yours, and we are looking forward. We are already salivating. We want you to, share with us your successes there, and we just want to amass, as much knowledge as possible from you, Mr. Mboweni. Over to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning, colleagues. I really appreciate to be part of this section. Like when I got the invite, I said to myself that I'm going to attend this, and here I am today just to come and share the experience with the colleagues from the Free State. And I will also have to add that from my undergraduate, I did information studies from first year up until second year, meaning that I have some background information on how one need to manage the library sector. As you have indicated that now I'm currently at the Investor Vendor where I'm managing social media. I can indicate that when I joined the Investor Vendor, it was 2023 August. And by then, the university had about 42,000 followers looking at Facebook. And now I can tell you that the Investor Vendor has about 291,000 followers, which means in the 2 years that I've been there, we managed to get about 250,000 people coming to join our Facebook. And that's not only Facebook, even the other social media platforms. We have TikTok, where we share some clips, where we share some stories for our successes of our students, and also some community engagements that we have around the area of Thohoyandou and also in our province. When I joined the Investor Vendor, they were having about 7,000 followers. And today the Investor Vendor has about 155,000 followers on TikTok. So that can tell you that the strategies that we are using, they are working, and they are making us one of the most engaged universities, or maybe in the higher education sectors, including the TVET colleges in our country. And that's simply because of the strategies that I'm going to share again with the colleagues from the Free State. So what I can say about social media, these are the digital platforms and the apps that enable one to communicate with their audience. It can be the library users, it can be the students from our side. And they assist because you're able to share and interact with them, and also sometimes to create content. I heard Mzwandile talking about colleagues sharing the programs and the services which they're doing at the library, which is very good. It's something that I was gonna come and talk about. It is very much important to let people know what time is your library opening, what time are the colleagues going on lunch, what time is the library closing. Even on some instances where there are holidays, it is very much key to let the library users to know that on this particular day, the library won't be functioning. So in that way, you are interacting with them to let them know these are our services, these are our working hours. That's where you start building that trust, and people, they will start coming in to visit the library, coming in to visit the social media platforms of that particular library. The main thing, someone said, the library is no longer the building these days. It's no longer about the books that are there. Some libraries are using online platforms where people they can access books, called ebooks, something like that. So if we're using these platforms, social media correctly, I can tell you that there are many people whom can come in there physical just to see the space of the library that people are working in, and it can also increase the engagement. Even people from Limpopo, they will know that there is a library in Free State that is doing so well in terms of their social media. Just like yesterday, I was seeing one of the private schools. It's in Northwest, like the way that they are doing their teaching from primary level. You can tell that it's so exciting, and everyone coming from any province, they will want to do what, to start copying from that particular school in terms of the way that they are giving their education. So even us, if we can do well from our social media platforms to communicate and also to showcase the services that we're doing, we can even get people from other provinces to come and copy the good practices that we're having. So in these apps of social media, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have X, formerly Twitter. We also have TikTok, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. So what I can say now as a start, it's good to have all these platforms, but focus on one that you know, this one you'll penetrate the market. And once you start with one, it will lead to the growth of the other platforms, because people, they will start realizing, okay, there is this library in Free State on this particular, under this account name. Then from there, you can start promoting the other social media platforms using that particular network that you can be using. So what I can say, and what we're doing also at the investor vendor, where Facebook. Facebook is our baseline. We know that each and every content that we have, it must go to Facebook. Then we can decide in terms of, there's some apps like LinkedIn. It's not everything that can go to LinkedIn. So from there, you have to know, okay, this kind of content, it can go to LinkedIn. This one, it can go to TikTok or Instagram. And how do you see this one? It can go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one platform that is so professional. Even people that are there are very professional. They are there to see jobs, many of them. There are recruiters there. They need to see you guys posting something relating to jobs. So there's some events where you can see, this one is just a local event. We can't take it up there. So that's the same strategy that we're using at the Investor Event, to say some content we can't take them to LinkedIn. But the content that goes to Facebook, I can assure you that it can go to Instagram. TikTok, in most cases, it's only videos. But what I've done now, just to grow our Facebook page, if there are pictures and I see that these are nice pictures, we'll also take them to a TikTok, where maybe we can also select a nice song, put it there, because I know that people, they get attracted to beautiful things. So once they see something that is nice there, they come in and engage with that kind of a content. And like I've said, that it is helping us a lot in terms of getting these young people to follow our pages. Another thing that we're doing again on TikTok, we have our own students, people who are at the investor vendor now, that we work with. We guide them on how to create content. Then they do some nice videos. We share them on TikTok, and also have some nice songs. Like each and every week, there are trends. You find that now there is this song that is busy circulating on TikTok. So you also need to check which songs are being used on TikTok. And again, now there's Instagram, which have some songs which they can go together with the pictures. So these are the things that, again, one need to research, like which trends are happening now. And what I can say, we need to move from that way of doing social media for the sake of just coming with announcements, just saying that there is 1, 2, 3 happening, the event. Sometimes you need to sit down as an office or a librarian to say, today is Monday or Tuesday. Why can't I profile maybe one of the person that you see every day coming to the library, or maybe a staff member who's doing so well in terms of their qualification? That way, it will also encourage other people who are outside to say, I'm going to this particular library just to see people that are working there because of their profiles. So that's also one thing that we're doing at the Investor event. We're not only announcing, saying that there is an event, then we'll go and cover event. We also look at these other things that are happening. I can think of just last week, we saw a trend. It was a trend that was happening on Facebook. People using AI, showing some people wearing Gucci and everything. It's one trend that other universities, they won't partake in, thinking that this is unprofessional. But at the Investor Vendor, we managed to get in there. And I can tell you that the engagement that we got there, it was very wow. We even got one member of a parliament commenting on that particular store or on that particular content, which is what we want, because immediately when you comment, all these circles, they're going to do what? They're going to come in and see the investor event, meaning that the visibility, people from Free State, Northern Cape, who were not aware that there is an investor event, by coming with those kind of content that are trending at that particular time, they're going to be aware and start doing what? Start following our Facebook page. So that's why I'm saying, even on these trends that people see them as not professional to be posted by higher institution, we try to come in by doing that with humility and doing that with some dignity. Because on that particular post that I did, it was the SRC president. They were going to Eastern Cape to attend one of the SRC national elections. So we just say the University of Venda SRC election have now landed in the Eastern Cape. Then we put those Gucci thing, meaning that the caption, it was talking about something else, which is positive, that our SRC, they've landed to their destination very safe. But yeah, we have something that will attract people whom normally they were not even gonna come and view the University of Venda Facebook page. But this one you need to do with a caution, and you also need to do with humility. Like I'm saying, that we can venture into those kind of trends that are happening at that particular time. It will assist in terms of visibility. It will also assist in terms of engagement. And people, I can tell you, they will start following your page. Because people, they get bored sometimes when every day you are telling them that the library of this community opens at this particular time, the closing time, then it ends there. Another thing that I can also say with the libraries, there are books that you can see, okay, this one is a new book that maybe has arrived. Talk about that particular book. You find that people somewhere, they have an interest to come and read that particular book. They will visit the library, because we need to see our library as a hub of activities. People who are out of schools, they must come visit library for knowledge. Our high school learners, they must visit the library. They must start understanding the importance of library from a very young age. And where are they going to see that? They're going to see that by us librarians communicating our stories, communicating or highlighting the books that are there on our shelves. And I can tell you, if I can see that there is this book that is just out now and this particular library, the book is there, I can come. And it will also encourage people who are in my circle to do what? To come and form part of that community where they can be frequently visiting and also visiting your social media platforms. What I can also say when we're using these social media platforms, it's very good for one to also respond to the comments. Like what I do at the University of Venda, since I came in, like the first 2 months, it was very tough for me because many people, they were not that much aware of this Facebook thing at the Investor Venda or this social media thing. So there were people who were very negative. Maybe someone comes and talk about the corruption that is happening then, come and talk about something that is happening there in the classrooms and everything. I remember one time we had it was bad publicity because there were 2 dogs. Because obviously, if you are in a community like a university, there are cats there, there are dogs, there are goats sometimes because we're in the villages here. So these 2 dogs, they got into the classroom, and people, they took videos of those dogs with the lecturer teaching them. It went viral on Facebook and also TikTok, and we had to come in as social media to come with strategies to make sure that people, they not focus on that negative part, but they also focus on the positive side of the University of Van. I started going around the university, taking some pictures of nice buildings that we have. We started posting them. It was a very good PR because people at that particular time, they stopped talking about that, those two dogs and the classroom. Then they focus on our content. It was also something that we did just for selling the university, because people now, they were coming with these things of now the University of Venda being in a rural area and students learning together with the dogs. So we had to come with something just to mitigate that one. So you also have to be that person who's aware of how to deal with crisis if it comes, because social media can also assist a lot in terms of mitigating some of these crises that are happening there. And you don't have to come out and say much, but come with some nice things that you are having at your disposal. Put them there, and people, they can do what? They will engage. So there were those negative comments that were coming. I will go and try to polish and set the record straight. But now, with the way that our social media has grown, people who are commenting there are people who are congratulating us for the good job that we're doing, people who are loving our content. So even if they're loving that content, I must not stop commenting. I just come and react by love, by acknowledging that we see you. So even those kind of things, when you're commenting, it keeps the momentum going. People, they feel like they are part of this university, because I can tell you that many organizations, they can post something there, then the social media person leaves. It doesn't see what people are saying about this organization and everything, but us will make sure that after posting, we still go there and react to what people are saying. If someone maybe ask a question about the application, we come in and give that person the information that you want. So what I'm saying is that once you post something and people, they ask questions, be there to answer those questions. If sometimes you are not sure what to say, you can go to your supervisor and say, I've got this particular question on social media. How do we go about responding to this? Then they will give you a correct statement that you will go there and post. And again, when you are responding to some of these questions, because there are questions that maybe sometimes will implicate you as an organization or as a person behind the social media of the organization. Firstly, study this question yourself, saying, is this worth it to be responded? If not, don't go there, because there are some that you can see now you're going to open a can of worms. Because I remember another one on X tweet. We posted some jobs vacancies that were there at the University of Van, and someone says, even if you can post and advertise, we know that are going to take only vendors. So there, it was up to me to respond, clearing that we're not going to take only vendors, because these are open to the public, and we're also a public university. So what I did, I said not to venture into that. I just ignored. And obvious, once you ignore, a person won't come back again. But the moment when you go and respond, you are opening many people to come, and some, they will come with evidence and say, yeah, you are only taking vendors or Tsongas or Zulus. So sometimes you need to avoid putting yourself in those kind of things by committing. Some questions you can leave them, but some questions where you can see this one, it won't implicate us or implicate the organization, I can tell you that make sure that you respond, just to build the online community. Again, there are people who can come to your library to study there. If they are students from a college or from university, or maybe learners from there, they will take pictures from around there. If you're able to see that, share into your social media account. The moment when you share into your social media account, there are many people who will come and take pictures, knowing that this library will do what? Will share our pictures. And once our pictures are being shared, people can see that we are what? We are people of information. We do go to the library to get knowledge. And sorry, we have over 30 million people in our country as of 2025 who are using social media. So I can tell you that from each and every village, there's a very high number of people who are using these social media platforms, because these days people, they no longer watch TV, they no longer read newspapers. Some of the newspapers, they are closing. So we use these online application also to add these online platforms also to advertise ourselves, to make people aware of the services that we are having. And people that are using smartphones, and obviously with the smartphone, you're able to have these apps in your gadgets. So I can advise each and every library to say, let's use this. I can also give you one example of the library that are using their social media so effectively. You can visit University of Pretoria. I think it's UP Library Services. They're having a very good social media account in terms of Facebook. And what they're doing there, you spoke about this month being a Nelson Mandela month. So they're having those kind of content to speak about if maybe there is a youth day, they have content about the youth day, because many young people, we need to encourage them to come to the library. So if we're having stories about those kind of things, I can assure you that many engagements and many followers are going to have coming from these young people. So that Facebook of UP, it's not the official main Facebook page of the university, but in terms of their side as a librarian, they're doing very well. And even their writing, you can tell these are people who are serious about the stories that we want to take to the public. So we can even use that one as a platform to go and learn good practices. There's also one for the national libraries. It's National Library of South Africa. They're also having a nice Facebook page. I think last time I checked, it was having 17,000, if not 18,000 followers. But the way that they're doing it, just that maybe they are not penetrating the market in terms of getting the followers, but the content that they are doing is the right content. Because even when they go for career exhibition, they make sure that they post, and they're always having They're always having young people coming in to engage with their content. So it's also something that you can also do in your library. If, for example, there's a particular school, they're having career exhibition, even if you don't get an invite, but the moment when you hear that there's a career exhibition there, go and attend. Have your own gazebo, have your own table by there. People, they will be coming, and you will be saying that we're the university of this, the library of this particular community. People, they will come and take leaflets if you have brochures there. And by that, they will be knowing that there is this library, because we don't need to be a library that is there with just a building, but we must be a library that also connect with people going to attend these events that are happening within our vicinity. Because I can tell you, there cannot be a program somewhere and us people from the library don't pitch there to showcase our services. So even this thing of attending, I can tell you that people will start saying that there is you, and they'll also start engaging with you if you are having your social media accounts. And I can tell you that even where I'm coming from, I'm from a Palabora. There is a library, one or two, but sometimes I don't know the services. Even people from the community don't know the services that are there, simply because of us librarians not going to connect with the people where it matters most. Because I can tell you, each and every area, there are career exhibitions. The Department of Basic Education, they make sure that they have these career exhibitions. The colleges, the universities, they come there. So we also need to go there just for public awareness. People seeing us there, because that thing of the library just being alone, just being aloof, it is outdated now, as the other colleagues have said, that we need to be there on our social media. And it is up to us as librarians to own this space, to own the area that we're working in. Because I can't be, if I'm a librarian, but every week, let's say a week, it's only 7 people who comes to access our material, or sometimes at all, because you can find one library where at all they don't have people coming to read, or maybe to come to borrow a book or something. It's a problem, and this problem, we can win it by being there active on our social media platforms. Like social media can solve such challenges, and also to solve this problem of young people not being in the classroom, young people not having knowledge. Us as the librarian, we have the hub to provide a knowledge with our young people. And like I've alluded, using social media, it will benefit in terms of people now knowing that you are there, you are existing. Sometimes you can use tips. You can even Google tips that you can share, especially during exam times when people are going to write exams. Talking about how one can prepare their studying, but looking at what can benefit also the library. By doing something like that, I'll show you that people will do what will come and interact with your a social media content. Sometimes even when young people are there, young people, they love social media. You can take some short videos of them when they are studying, post them. They will be very happy to follow the library, or also to follow the content that you are having there. And like I've said, check which platform to use. You can start with one before you can have 5 of them. And I've said, outside the University of Venda, we started with Facebook, and that Facebook managed to feed these other social media accounts, where now we're priding ourselves to say we are number 2 in terms of the universities in South Africa. We're having 26 universities in South Africa, and we're number 2 in terms of their followers on TikTok, number 1 being University of KwaZulu-Natal, and us being number 2 with 155 followers. And the one that is coming after us is University of Pretoria. Last time I checked, they were on 36,000 followers. So you can tell that the gap that we're having with the one that is coming from us, it is very huge. And even with our Facebook page, the way that we're growing, like I said, that when I came in with 42,000, now we are 291,000. We had University of Limpopo when I came in. They were on 146 or 147,000 followers. And I said to myself that since I'm coming from University of Limpopo, this one, we're going to beat them in terms of numbers. So when I was pushing our social media or doing our social media, I was coming with content that I knew that our audience, they're going to resonate with this. A content that other universities, they are not focusing much on. Because the universities that are on top of us now are the universities that obvious, like University of Johannesburg, University of South Africa, which is UNISA. They're having good numbers in terms of their alumni, people who are coming from UNISA that are main. So obvious, they will follow the social media handles of that particular university. But us coming from a deep rural in Limpopo, people obvious, they were gonna expect us to be low there. But with the way that we've been coming and engaging with our audience, it made us to be where we are now. And I can tell you that the university that we're looking at was University of Limpopo. We have overtaken them now, and they are still on 188,000 followers, meaning that the gap that is there between us and University of Limpopo is very huge, meaning that even if I can leave the University of Venda now and come and work in one of the libraries in Free State, they will never catch a University of Venda in terms of the numbers. And even the universities that are on top of us, like we are slowly crawling to their numbers. And I can assure you that by the end of this year, the University of Venda will be on 400 and something thousand followers on our Facebook, simply because of the strategies and whatever that I've been telling you, that these are the things that you need to do to run. And another thing that you can also do to get engagement or to get people attracted to come to your library, or maybe to engage your Facebook, is to also to run polls. You can run polls, like you see which books you are having there in your library, and which books people they are frequently coming to request from the shelves. Then you can have a poll to ask from this book and that book, which one do you like, or which one, what have you learned from this particular book. It will also assist, and it will also make people who are using your library to engage with you on your social media. Yeah, I think I'm done with my presentation. If maybe there can be a question, I'll still be to assist where I can. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
Wow, Mr. Mboweni, wow, thanks a lot. And I want to keep you here until we finish, because I believe the audience have got follow-up questions. Just please bear with us, remain with us here until we finish the whole program. There were a lot of beautiful things that I picked up, and sitting here listening to you, and I'm asking myself a lot of questions to say, you know, the name Mboweni, when it ticks into my mind, that all the Mbowenis that I know are very brilliant. And sitting here, I'm thinking of the date on which you are sending the stage there, where Professor Tsewola would say, Mr. Chancellor, allow me to award the following degrees. So you have earned your master's, Mr. Mboweni, and you have set beautiful statistics here. And your PR, I mean, lately we have seen the court cases that have been taking place in the Eastern Cape there, and we picked up some new things. Your emojis, I mean, we have librarians, and I've seen earlier here you indicated that some of the questions that are posted on the Facebook, if they don't worth to be responded to, not an ordinary librarian might not know that strategy, but because you come from the field of communication, then into the library sciences. So this is the knowledge that we've been looking for. But I believe the audience have jotted down the questions they will ask you. Just please remain with us until we finish. So we are moving straight to speaker number 2, Mr. Sello Malebana. Now, who is Sello Malebana? Now, Sello Malebana is an accomplished librarian, a project leader, and a capacity facilitator with over 10 years of experience in library services. He currently serves as a Capricorn District Librarian for Limpopo Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, where he is responsible for district-wide library operations, strategic programs, and stakeholder engagement initiatives. Sello holds a Bachelor of Information Studies from the University of Limpopo, a trained facilitator, and a graduate of the National Certificates in Occupationally Directed Educational Training Development Practices, and a recent graduate in Postgraduate Diploma in Project Management from UNISA. He was part of the Trainer project under Mzansi Libraries Online, equipping librarians, interns, and community partners with critical skills to support effective library service delivery. He also serves in leadership roles within IASA, currently a coordinator of Limpopo Public and Community Libraries. Mr. Malebana?
Good morning, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malebana. We have had the main course, our meal. We want to enjoy our dessert. Mr. Malebana, over to you.
Thank you very much, Program Director, and greetings to you and to our latter speaker, the Chairperson for Public and Community Libraries, Shanita. Also my colleagues in the Free State, Mzwandile, whom we are serving in the sector, both of us, of public and community libraries. And greetings to all esteemed members of LIASA and LIASA lovers. Colleagues, greetings. I've been requested to share with you in relation to say, why are we supposed to write to contribute to the LIASA In Touch, whereby we are sharing stories through writing, colleagues. We need to also have to ensure that LIASA, as it is, advocates for the profession of LIS sector in both government and private sector. We also need to establish that we are LIASA colleagues and LIASA is us. So it is us who need to maintain it and sustain it. While we were engaging with the LIASA In Touch editor in our previous workshop, she stated that LIASA In Touch has been in existence for the last 26 years, which has been used to advocate for the sector. So it is us as members, colleagues, who need to advocate for the profession. Then what is a better way to advocate for ourselves as LIASA other than writing, documenting, and sharing our contributions with the rest of the country and the world at large? Not forgetting amongst ourselves, because as we write amongst ourselves, we are also sharing a service standard so that we can do better in our work. So we need to note that the importance of contributing to the newsletter, whereby we will be sharing stories through writing. It is to keep abreast with new developments within the library and information services, whereby we are able to read what our colleagues doing. We also motivate each other to do better in our respective spaces. We share service standard that can sharpen service delivery. Program director, when we write stories, we are not only just writing for the sake of writing, but we are sharing what we are doing with the broader community of LIS sector. Because when we are sharing what we are doing, you are also influencing the next person who's reading that article to do what they are doing. For example, in our latest newsletter, In Touch, LIASA In Touch newsletter, there's a story for Mapalle Library, whereby they are training senior citizens. They are enrolling them, apologies for that, they're enrolling them for an online courses at UR Tambo School of Leadership, whereby these senior citizens have now got qualification through library. But if they did not write about that one, that they're doing, we will not be able to know the service standards that they are doing in that library. So when we share, we are also able to see what other people are doing, and then that one will also assist us to forge a relationship amongst ourselves and stakeholder relations, because as we are sharing our service standard, we are also inviting stakeholders to come be part of us to say how can we better do this these programs. We also note the contributions that we see by City of Joburg, the Mobi Readathon. We knew it because it was written. If it was not written, we will not be knowing it. Now it has forged partnership, it has stakeholders relation, and it is mushrooming in a positive way. So if we write, we are also sharing that service standard that we are inviting partnership. We need to write, because in terms of writing, we are directing each other to new developments that are in the field. We are giving each other new ideas and skills, and also relevant that one can push or one can further while they are in the field. Program director, we also need to note that participation equals visibility, which enlarges our voices. Mr. Mboweni spoke about the importance of social media, because when you post, then you are visible, and then that one, it is your voice. Even in writing, when you participate in writing, you are equally so enlarging your visibility and your voice. So writing gives us a platform. Newsletters reach peers, not only in our circle, but those in the field and those who are still coming, stakeholders and policymakers. As I was referring to the previous newsletter program director, when we are saying this LIASA In Touch gives us a platform, we also note the article by, we have an intern there by Karabo Pokwane, who's telling us the experience that she is experiencing in a field of work as an intern. So this LIASA In Touch is for all of us. It is not only limited to a certain group of people. So we need to ensure that we write, we tell our stories, and our stories is not limited to what we are doing, but also our opinion about the field. And then our work gets seen and valued in that regard. So when we write article or share stories, you are also representing your library's mission, what you are standing for, what you are hoping to achieve in that particular library, and who you are. This fosters pride and a stronger professional identity. It gives sense of ownership to what we are doing. Newsletters are a perfect document to document how we deliver service delivery and projects in our respective libraries. Because these newsletters we read amongst ourselves, and even our principals, when they engage, then they are able to assist us to better our service delivery. Sharing service standards raises the bar across the LIS sector community, promoting quality and consistency in what we do. As such, it is a way of modeling professionalism. So as we are moving into era of public professional librarian, while we are also sharing our service standard, it is contributing to that factor to say how can we best do in modeling our profession to be professionalized in the way that we want, and how can we do that if we are not writing? So it is us who need to write these stories so that we can contribute to the professionalism of the sector. So when we are writing or sharing stories, program director, we are ensuring that we build collaborations. Showing your work may spark joint projects, peer advice, or you can get a mentor-mentee relations with foster networking and peer connections. When we are writing a program director, this program that we are in is the perfect example of that one, to say we are sparking joint projects, because my peer at Free State saw an article that we wrote and said, no, come and be part of us to say, why should we contribute? So it has sparked collaboration. We are fostering networking. Now, in this very same program, we are having esteemed persons who are decision makers who are here, who will be able to assist us in future to say, no, in terms of doing this service standards or doing this project, you can better them by doing 1, 2, or 3. That will be established by the collaborations that we will have anticipated while we are writing what we are currently doing. Then they will be coming with the experience to say you can better your programs by doing these other things in this regard. So it is important, because these newsletters, it is not only limited to ourselves, but our principals or decision makers are also reading them and giving us their inputs. It also it opens doors for interaction, which expands professional prospects, influence change and advocate for LIS sector. Through writing, you can highlight how libraries support community access, bridge digital divide, and their contribution to social transformation. We are noting this because in this article, I'm referring to it because I've noted many stories that are close to me, that I like what colleagues are doing on the ground, program director. In Njelele, they are reporting that they are meeting, a group of 15 people, they are meeting bi-weekly to review books and share their thoughts in books. That is fighting illiteracy. By ensuring, but as they are fighting illiteracy, they are giving community access to the library. So when we share this kind of stories, we are also motivated to say, how can we adopt to these programs so that we also give community access to our libraries, so that people can just come, read books, review, share their thoughts, and give us better ideas to do our project and programs. So writing also shapes perceptions. Regular contributions build a storyline that libraries are proactive, adaptive, and essential to societal well-being. It is us who have the capacity to shape these perceptions. We know that previously libraries were not considered to be contributing that much to our social spaces or our communities. But through writing and presenting papers, the perception has been shaped, and now libraries are amongst the recognized contributors in terms of building nations and contributing to SDGs. So while we are writing, we ensure that people see what we are doing, and then we assist in shaping perception, and we are positioning ourselves in a way that we want, program director. So in conclusion, we are noting that each article we contribute strengthen our collective voice and empowers others to follow the lead. So when we are writing, you are also, when you share stories, you are also calling on others to say, no, let us write, it is possible. So that you are leading in that fashion, then we will be able to assist others. Then collectively our voice will be heard. One well-crafted article has the power to inspire change and elevate libraries across our country, South Africa. It only takes who, what, when, where, why, and how to have a well-crafted story. Thank you, Program Director. The dessert normally is not longer than the main course. Thank you very much for giving us this platform.
Oh, Mr. Malivana, that was a wonderful dessert. We really enjoyed your presentation, and there are a few things that I want to touch on. I know colleagues are jotting down their questions, and I looked in the chat board also. Ditlhare, I hope you picked up. There was a question there also from Marike. Just make sure that it's read so that we don't respond it only there in the group chat. There might be people who are in attendance who would want to hear the question and the response from the speaker. Guys, the leadership is also in attendance, and I've already apologized on your behalf. There was also a request from Madumo that we need to listen to one speaker at a time. And I believe you did so well after we have addressed that. So in future also, if we have got same sessions, let's make sure that immediately when you click on the link, you mute your mic so that we listen to one speaker. Now, you touched on beautiful things. Colleagues, we have got 30 minutes where we will take all your questions. Should you want to finish earlier than that, it's still okay, but you've got ample time to ask questions and the speakers respond to your questions. And that is there's something that I picked up also there, which is so beautiful. And one of them is in the library. I've been following the library even before we could have this session. And they are doing so wonderful things. And some of them are on TikTok. And there were a lot of things that I was like asking myself questions to, because I don't know, but I think someone will ask, let me not count chickens before they hatch. Maybe someone will ask that question. I also like that part of Mapale Library, where you indicated that they are training the senior citizens, and they did got also the certificate. And listening to you, in most of the paragraphs when you say a program director, then I'm talking to a librarian who always sits in the boardroom. It was so appealing, and I can feel that project management in you, and that certificate of project management. I listened to you when you speak, and I could tell that this librarian is well learned. We really appreciate. You are writing articles. That's one of the things that the host invited you to be part of this session, because you said something again here where you said when you post, you are communicating and you become visible, close quote. And that speaks to our theme for today. And I listened also to the previous speaker, Mr. Mboweni, when he said 30 million people are on social media platforms. Now, meaning if you check the population of the country, we are sitting at 64 million, meaning almost half of the population are on social media. Now, let's quickly move straight to agenda item number 7, the question and answer session. Ditlhare, the floor is yours, but I will try to assist you to check some of the questions in the chat. But this is your session. Just direct. Ditlhare.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you so much. And wow to all our speakers. Yo, it will sound better. I'm very sensitive. Thank you so much to our speakers. I'll open the floor for questions, comments, anything you'd like to say to our speakers. While still waiting for any questions from the floor, I'll just try to share some of the things that I heard also from Miss Shanita, wherever you said libraries are very vital prospect because they grow the whole community. It is so true. It is so true. And we need to share, to collaborate. Everything we do, we need to tell our community. Actually, we need to be the catalyst. That's my favorite, being the catalyst. We need to change people's life. That's our mandatory. Mr. Tito Mboweni, Chairperson, you'll tell me if there's any hand there, ne?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Mr. Yo, I said Tito Mboweni. Mr. Mboweni.
No, it's fine, ma'am.
Yes, when you say something about the TikTok, I think our chairperson also touched on the TikTok. As we must use it for the right reasons. Yes, I concur with that too. And then what stood out for me was the profile your library users. You know, I never thought of that profiling our everyday, the people that we see every day. It is so important because somebody might see that, oh, she's going to the library too. Oh, he's going to the library too. Then, you know, that's catalyst there. I love that too. And advertising the new books in our Facebook. And then the importance of content. Yes, the importance of content in what we putting in our Facebook. Oh, I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, there's a hand from Mzwandile. Maybe after you, Mzwandile, has been responded to, you can go straight to the chatbot. Maybe I'll read out that one with Marike just after something.
Okay, Chair. Thank you so much. Mr. Mzwandile, my chair, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Medicar. I just wanted maybe to share something very vital as I was listening to Mr. Mboweni and Mr. Sillo as well, to say that we do understand that in the public library space, we might be faced with policies, frameworks that may be defending us to have our own Facebook pages or our own platforms. But I would like to advise colleagues to say, please read thoroughly and understand the policies of your institution or of your department or of your organization. It's important to read and understand the fine print so that you can also engage the communications unit to, you know, ask either permission or for them to open an official page for the library specifically. Or if you do not have that luxury, what you can do is to read the policy and understand what are the do's and don'ts, and then you work towards that. I know in the Free State, one of the clause on the policy is that you must not use the logo of the department, you must not use the signatures and so forth. So what we have done is that we do communicate some of these activities that we have and share them, but we use our personal platforms. We use the groups that we have created through LIASA. So we can use that as part of examples for us to communicate with the communities out there and reach out of the activities that we use. So it's quite important that we take that part. I want also to come in on the issue that Sello did actually raise, the fact that the more you write is the more you actually, you know, present yourself as a community librarian. and share knowledge with others. The reason why we came up with this is for us to, to transform from being librarians who are seen in the building, and we transform with the changing society today. Hence, when even our national chair, Shanita, did indicate that we want to see ourselves as research librarians. And the research, it's just the research that is done within our space, within the libraries. Because if you can check our researchers or our academic librarians, they come to our space to do research. And we answer those questionnaires or the interviews, and our users do the same. And that information gets to be published in the name of the university. But the same activity, we can do it ourselves because that knowledge lies within us. If, for example, you find yourself that your statistics is declining in terms of book circulation, that is a research on its own that we should be working towards as public librarians. But at this point in time, hence we're saying that in order for you to get to that level, you gotta start somewhere. And starting somewhere is what Mr. Madavana said, that the importance of writing is to answer those few 5 W's and H. Thank you, Chairperson.
All right, Midikari, let me read through this question while we're still waiting to hear from others. The question is coming from Marike. I think this question is directed to Mr. Mboweni. Mr. Mboweni, they are asking, here is the question. In terms of images posted on Facebook of visitors, either day to day or at events, do you ask them to post their own pics to your page or to send it to you to post? Is there a protocol to the post? When you post images on social media, is there a protocol to post images on social media? For example, if we have a book launch, public event, can we post photos we have taken? Or do we have to get each person's permission in writing? Is it different for school children than adults? That's the question. Mr. Mboweni, the question is directed to you.
Thank you, Chair. No, we don't get permission from people who are visiting our space or our libraries. Because mind you, we have a duty to market our space and also to market our services. So people, when they are coming, just like what I did at University of Venda, I have a photographic disclaimer to say that immediately when you come in at the University of Venda, we can take videos or pictures that we can use to market our university. So even these ones, when they come to our libraries, we can take pictures with the sole purpose of marketing our space. So we don't have to ask questions. But what I was saying, there are some people who come to our libraries, take pictures for themselves, then they post on their own accounts. So as a social media officer, if you see something like that being posted on their individual accounts, you can share. You don't even have to ask them to say, can I share? But the moment when you see that in Njere Library, I was at Njere Library on this particular day, you can share. And you can also market the library and also engage other people, and also with some visibility saying, oh, people are visiting this library. Let also do what? Let us also visit. So we're sharing this just to make sure that people, they are aware of where we're working. They are aware of the services that we're having at the library. In terms of also children, it's one thing to post young kids. Sometimes we need to get permission, especially these ones from primary. I remember if you can go to the University of Venda a Facebook page, there was this crash, a preschool kids who came. Some they are 8 months old to 5 years, somewhere there. We took pictures of them. Then we spoke to the principal of the crash. Can we post these pictures? They said, yeah, we came to the University of Vedas for these people or for these kids to get awareness or to see the activities of the university. So the fact that we're here, and we also told their parents that we're going to the university, they will also be happy to see the faces of their kids on the university social media page. And we did that. And we also got very good responses that was coming from the parents and also from the community. So for kids, yes, we have to get permission from the guardians or from the parents. But for people who are in grade 5 going up, I'm sure they will be so happy to see their face on the library Facebook page. Thank you.
All right, Meditare, I don't see any other hand, but still, again, I still feel like the people that are here in attendance, there is wisdom in all the people that are here attending, because I'm trying to fit into the shoe of Me Marike, because I know she's probably asking, because like even now, Ndate Malebana spoke about the Mobi Readathon. Now in the Free State, this Friday we are hosting it at a University of Free State. Now the UOFs, because of the POPI Act, right? We have to get a standard a document, that gives us UOF's permission, because that information would be on, it would be live, it would be on Zoom, there would be, they create content. And, people, if they read through these pieces of legislation, POPI Act, they might, want to even a lawsuit to the department, right? But if maybe there was a permission granted, because I'm trying to create a conversation between, and I know we have got people coming from the municipalities, people coming from the private sectors and government, and we want to tap into your knowledge as to, because we don't want to find ourselves in trouble. And again, I still concur with you, Ndade Mboweni. I've been following that Njelele library. I'm in the Free State, but I'm following that. In fact, almost all the libraries that are doing well in the country, if you check most of my statistics about the success of the libraries, things that they are posted. But once something is on the internet, it's for everyone to use. You understand? So then the moment, if I were to get into the library and then take a video with the emblem, maybe the Facebook is for the department, then I won't post it there because I have to go through the channel of communication and get that thing posted. And I want to come again on that, maybe just to direct this question to Ndade Malebana on the issue of your newsletter, Ndade Malebana. I'm checking, is the newsletter that is internal in your department? Because I'm just asking, just to to check. That is the newsletter in your department. So you source the stories from the libraries, and after sourcing the story, you send it to communication for it to be published on the departmental newsletter. Or are we talking about different things? Is the newsletter of LIASA, or I just want to check, do you have something that is published from the library within the department that would be seen by different programs? By programs, I'm referring to your internal departments, your sports, your administration. Do you have something of that nature where people would know about the beautiful things that were done in Mapalle Library in the day, Malebana?
Thanks, Program Director. The stories that are being shared through newsletter LIASA In Touch. We have advocated for our colleagues to participate in the sector and contribute. So they have contributed to LIASA In Touch, but also in our department, we share with our communications the activities that we are doing, then they post them on the social media. But on social media, they are not as much as detailed as in newsletters, because that's on the Facebook pages, it is just to say what is it that they are doing, but that impact is not thoroughly elaborated well. But in the newsletter, colleagues go into details because on Facebook, when we go into details, some people will be lost in translation. So in the newsletters, we take time to read and vis-a-vis other projects that colleagues are doing. But to answer your question, they have contributed to Liasa In Touch, Program Director. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Sello Ditlhare. I'm gonna have to bring you in. That would be your discretion to decide if you close the Q&A session. But before that, I think there was something that Ndade Mboweni touched on, apart from the dog coming into the lecture hall while the lecturer was lecturing, and that became viral. I don't want to say that it's the secret recipe of you having had a skyrocketed number of people that are, checking your web page. But I'm just checking because there was a point where you said you can even use the Facebook page to indicate the library operational hours. And that's a beautiful thing. But also, I think there's something that you touched where you say you can even deactivate the comment section, because I think there were two things that happened. And I see May Stell, Assistant Director of Sasolburg Library, is also here, also has an active Facebook page for the library. And I'm in the district offices, and at times, you know how people in the community play politics, and at times they don't like you as a librarian, or maybe they've got beef against you, right? The library is closed. They call the district and say, this library is closed. And because of this red tape that you find in government, where people are deterred to have a specific Facebook page for a specific library, but only having one Facebook page for the entire department with over 100 or 200 libraries, right? Now, the system would say, you need to write a notice outside. Remember, the library could be far off from the fence, meaning you put the notice outside to say, okay, on this day, the library will be closed. It's stock taking, or it's a week stock taking. It could rain. It could rain. That thing can fade away. You could have, you have got this proliferation of the Nyaume boys in the community. They can just take it and throw it away. Then there comes someone who does not know, who comes all the way from the farms, maybe 20 kilometers away, an old lady who drove all the way to circulate books. When that person gets there, the library is closed. The fuel, the expenses that person has incurred, and I'm just trying to say, look, there are a lot of things that are happening, and we could have solved them if we were to tap into these issues of internet. Let me bring it back to you, but I'm still looking. I see there's a hand from Shanitha. Medicare can just take over. Medicare.
Yes.
Yes, please go on, Ms. Shanita.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to bring in a point on the newsletter. At Msunduzi Libraries, what we have done is we've compiled a newsletter that goes out sort of quarterly, and this covers all the programs that takes place within the libraries from the northern areas, the southern areas, and the central areas. Now, what we do with that newsletter, it's more to circulate amongst the employees in the municipality, because a lot of them, although they work for the municipality and the library falls under the municipality, so many of them don't know what we're all about. So we get permission once it is compiled, because we have a dedicated person who's quite good with the IT side and compiling, putting all the stuff together. Marketing students, we also take them in sort of like for work experience, and then we bring them on. And then we compile all these programs, and then we share it on the Msunduzi municipality website. And that gives the employees a chance to see what is going on in the library sector as a whole. And what you find from that, if you're having certain programs, the employees from other departments actually join the programs. And then they say, gosh, I didn't know the library does this, and I don't know the library does that. So that is one way to market your programs. But then again, I also understand that we are governed by municipal laws and regulation, and especially policy. I heard about the Facebook issues and posting on that. I know from our municipality, we also have that challenge, but we got permission from the marketing and communications manager to say, can you give us a dedicated segment, like Msunduzi Library Services, where all our programs get posted with their permission, and then that was created for us. So I don't know if that's going to help anybody, but just something to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Shanita. Chair, I don't see any more hands. I don't know if there's anything on your side, but you'll tell me if there's anyone. I just
I don't
wanted to say that Mr.
Okay, there's a-
Malibana. Yes, Chair.
There's a hand from the academy.
Okay, can go on.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I think I wanted to add from what our national chair just shared to help colleagues in terms of how to go about this. I think, colleagues, what you need to do is to first engage your supervisors or the unit that is responsible for communication in your organization or institution or library department, so that you make it a proposal. You propose basically and on how to go about this, so that you can get permission, and the page can be done in such a way that it represents the department or the institution. And I know there are red tapes. Sometimes they may say, who will manage this, who will administer, who will do this. So what we have done in the Free State is, as much as we did get permission, but due to other red tapes, you find that some of our articles, they don't get to be displayed on the website, on the social media of the department. So what we have done, we are using the LIASA Facebook page, which we created some time ago, and we're also using LIASA in touch, to share those articles. And also we use also personal pages. But some of our articles also goes to the department newsletter, which is a provincial department newsletter, which they get to be published even there. The community can read. And we also have our library services newsletter that we also do. So I think what is important is for you to start that engagement and see how far it takes you, and also involve your supervisors in your engagement. Thank you, Chair.
All right, Mary Clary, I think that's about it. I did check in the more questions, but no questions. We were left with only 5 minutes. We need to last agenda item, which is a vote. First, appreciate everyone who made time to attend. I've seen there were people all the way from Northwest. I've seen KZN. I know their surnames and the first names from Limpopo. Of course, they are in attendance. Free State is also here. Gauteng, obviously, they are also in attendance. Colleagues, we really appreciate you being part of this session. And I think from here you have heard some of the guidance, perhaps some of those things you were told by your supervisors there. And we can assure you, me and Mr. Mzwandile, we are also the task team of the digital transformation in the department. There were some of the few things that we also, suggested, which had to affect, changes on the policies. So there are things, things evolves. You had Shanita that she trained the generation X of librarians, and this is the new generation that does not watch TV. They listen to TV, but watch TikTok. You understand? So things are changing, things are evolving. We need to come with the ways to better, digital transformation also affects library services. But from me to you, I just want to, appreciate your presence and have a lovely, have a lovely day. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you, Chair.
colleagues. Goodbye.